Hello and welcome to what is going to be me unlocking the Hero Sword, which is a weapon in Megabonk that requires you to defeat a stage boss without taking any items, any power-ups, or using any shrines. Now, I've tried this challenge a few times, and it's tough because the temptation to just take the power-ups, open chests, use the shrines is definitely there. But during this run, I decided that I want to stick to one area, using Mega Chads, primarily because of the aura. As you can see, we're already got a power-up drop there. We heavily want to avoid that. I do also play it safe and don't open chests. I have later discovered the fact that you can actually, I say open chests, open pots, sorry. I found that you actually can open the pots. Taking dice there, also taking the Executioner. Now, you want, at least this is how I've done it anyway, you want to try and stay in the one area so you can keep collecting all the XP, because this is the only way that you're going to be able to increase your damage output. Just took the bow there, mainly for its piercing properties. Because you're not going to be getting items like my favourite moldy cheese that is going to just rinse through the boss. That is a no-go. So you're going to want to be staying in the same area, taking damage tome there. Just basically doing circles. If you've played Call of Duty Zombies, you know how to run in circles. Basically do that. Now, for the first good few minutes, you want to just stick around, again, avoiding as many of the chests, any power-ups that drop. This area does get quite busy later on. But overall, you just want to keep doing what you're doing. We're going to take a refresh here. Again, if you can take any form of quantity, that is you must, basically. The more damage output you can get, the better. Because you're not going to be increasing the difficulty, because that's just going to make the challenge so much harder. So what you want to focus on is just pure raw damage. Avoid things like, say, the luck tome. You don't need it, because you're not going to be able to get the luck high enough to be able to take advantage of it. So, as you can see, we took the damage tome alongside the Executioner, dice, and bow. You can potentially take the quantity tome as well. That is another good option, because every time you level it up, it's at least one extra quantity. We're taking the dice here. Again, that's projectile count going up. More DPS going out. And you can see I'm heading more towards the back here, trying to avoid the two chests, the Fury and the Time Freeze power-up. We are going to be having, I think it was Stone Golem coming in here. Yep. To the Size Tome as well, just to try and help boost the aura a little bit. Again, you just want to be micro steps with Stone Golem, especially if you're using Mega Chads, to just try and take advantage of the aura. But he does go down pretty easily. I'll be honest, not the best placement for myself. I really should have tried to took him elsewhere, but it is fine. We did get very lucky on this map run because the boss portal was pretty close to spawn. But that's been my tactic in general. As you can see, I am now moving because I was thinking up there was getting a bit heavy in terms of pickups and power-ups. But that's been my tactic, is basically try and find the boss portal as quickly as you can, so you know you're in the rough area, and then just find large open spaces. Again, you want to avoid touching that shrine. You don't want to enter it. I don't know if it will count, but you don't want to risk it. First swarm coming in here. Again, just treat it like Call of Duty Zombies. There's a magnet. As tempting as that was to take, you just cannot take it. Again, small steps, bit by bit. This is how I like to play Mega Chads. Not just constantly running. You want the enemies to actually take damage. Just edge them ever so closely. Yeah, as I say, you are allowed to break open the pots. So I have seen some people play as that was very close to hitting that nuke there. I have seen some people play as Robinette and basically just collect as much gold as they possibly can, because that's how her damage scales. The more gold you have, the better. What did I take there? I took the HP regen, I think that was. Now, HP regen is kind of vital because you don't have overly a way to heal. I think the game does give you a little bit of natural healing over time. Don't quote me on that, but definitely taking an HP regen. I'd probably take HP regen over lifesteal, because HP regen will just happen naturally even if you're not killing enemies. Now the reason for this is because when you get to the last boss, especially with say Mega Chat, you are going to be getting pretty close to the boss and they will hit you. It's guaranteed. I have done previous runs where I've attempted this without the HP regen and I just got absolutely nuked. I was getting close, getting hit with the what they called like the roots from Chad Bark, and then getting thrown up in the air. It was not very good and I kept losing. But this time we do manage a successful run. As you can see, I have actually moved again. It was getting a bit busy over there. There's 2 magnets, a stonks, and a nuke. So we moved over. Again, we did get very, very lucky with this map layout. This boss area is pretty substantial in size. Also, there is also the other shrine over there. So that's basically the overall kind of what you want to do. You want to try and find large areas near-ish the boss where you've got space to move around, that you're not gonna accidentally pick something up or accidentally step into a shrine. Again, I don't know if you do step into the shrine, if that counts towards using a shrine, or if you actually need to like fully absorb the shrine, if that makes sense. We're better playing it safe than sorry. But yeah, as you see, it's just Call of Duty Zombies. That is all it is. Call of Duty Zombies, just running around in circles, picking up as much XP as you possibly can. Now, you might be wondering, when am I going to take down the boss? Now, I've tried this a couple times. This has been the only successful run. The first couple times I tried to go take the boss down straight away after the first swarm. However, I wasn't leveled up quite enough to be able to handle the boss quick enough, and therefore the next swarm spawned, and also we got the other mini boss as well. So what I've done is I've tried to last as long as possible, take down both swarms, take down both the stone golem and chunkers, who I'm pretty sure is coming in the next 11 seconds. Because then you're at as high a level as possible, but you really do want to be going to get the boss as close to the 2-minute mark as you possibly can. As you can see, here's Chunkum coming in. I called him Chunkers, that's not his name. Chunkum. So as soon as you take down Chunkum or the Stone Golem, whichever way it rotates for you, you want to be instantly heading towards the boss portal, because you do not have long. And if your build isn't the strongest, you're going to struggle. So as you can see, I'm already heading over. Activate up straight away. Now, things are definitely pretty busy in the kind of southwest side of the map. You can tell that by looking at the mini-map. So what I would basically do is I just use these trees, this kind of rough area here, to just try and lay as much damage into them as possible. There are parts where this does get a little bit ropey. Again, you want to be trying to jump out of that triple attack as best possible. see I get hit there. But with Little Bark, he can, with any of the bosses in fairness, he does tend to climb the trees. So you want to be avoiding that, because if he's climbing trees, you're going to be dealing less damage, especially if you're using Mega Chads. Now we're just over halfway down, and things are getting a bit heavy in terms of enemy. So I'll be honest, I was panicking a little bit here, because I was thinking, I might fail this, and I am so close to getting this. But we do, thankfully, prevail. All these Shrek-looking guys. We've got about 20 seconds left, and about a quarter of Lil Bark still to take down. Nightmare when he climbs the trees, honestly. Panicking, but again, still trying to stick to that rough area. Again, you do not want to pick anything up until Little Bark goes down and the achievement pops. We now are in the final swarm. I only just, on watching this recording back, seen that there was that nuke hiding behind that rock. That could have been disastrous. But, as you can see, we just defeated Lil Bark and the achievement did pop, which now means we can pick stuff up. Now, I don't know if I mentioned, but this is a tier 1 run. You want to do it on as low a difficulty as possible, because there's just no point trying to do it on a higher difficulty. Like, just make it easy for yourself. As you can see here, I can go pick up anything I want. I can go pick it all up, and it's fine, because the achievement has popped. The achievement was to defeat a stage boss without taking any items, any power-ups, or using any shrines. We've done that, so now you have free reign to try and survive for as long as you can. I will give you the heads up, I don't survive very long. And our first item is a cursed doll. Do we make the nuke? We do make the nuke. That's nice. Do we make the Fury? No, we don't make the Fury. That's a bit of a shame. But yep, as I say, tier 1 completed. And there we go. We got the hero sword unlocked. The executioner was pretty clutch there. As you can see here, going into weapons, 35 silver. And the hero sword has been unlocked. And the quest is also done. Now, you might be wondering, what's that other weapon? That's the slutty rocket. I've got about 40 kills left. I'll get that soon. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow for another daily video.